Federal courts have uniformly blocked President Donald Trump's order seeking to end birthright citizenship for children born in the United States to someone who's in the country illegally. Thursday, the Supreme Court heard arguments and appeals of 3 of those orders. They prevented the Trump administration's citizenship restrictions from taking effect in the United States. At issue are both the meaning of the Citizenship Clause of the 14th Amendment and the authority of individual judges to universally block policies rather than just apply them just to the people and organizations who have sued.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring in Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes. No clear, real idea of where justices are going after they kind of heard these arguments, but this is a big deal because this is in our Constitution. It's an amendment to our Constitution. So what are we looking at here?
Yeah, post-Civil War amendment that obviously we were attempting to right a number of things that were wrong, specifically slavery. But this is 127 years in the making. This case, the Wong case that we're specifically talking about, they said that this guy that was born to a foreign parent, but that was born in America, was an American citizen, leaves the country, attempts to come back. They deny him access to the country, saying that he was not a citizen. The court said, no, you guys got it wrong. He was born here. He is a citizen. Case closed. Every court, and I repeat, every court has done that the exact same way for 127 years. Even in this situation, the 3 courts that it has come in front of has done the exact same thing. So this is kind of a misnomer. We don't have enough time to unpack this. I used to teach a class in law school. It was 4 hours. You'd probably need that class and a couple other classes to just break down this discussion. But quickly, it'll be like this, that there is sometimes when you want a case where you're not going to talk about the underlying issues. So the birthright citizen portion is the underlying issue. This court won't even address this. There's no briefs on that matter. This court only took this case so it can deal with the nationwide injunction. Sometimes the court can say, hey, do I have an opportunity to get to talk about what I want to talk about? Wow, this allows me to do it. We'll bring up this birthright case and we won't even address the issue. We'll only talk about this nationwide injunctions. And I think that's what they'll hit home on. And even that is the confusing part.
So you feel that justices, when they make their opinions, will more so focus on the power of judges in this country rather than protecting or dismantling the 14th Amendment?
100%. I mean, because for them to address something, they have to be briefed on it. So there's not even any briefs submitted that address the citizenship issue. So again, it's a misnomer that they talk about this as the birthright citizenship case when it's only do our inferior court justice or judges have an opportunity in or power to make nationwide injunctions? And that is going to be the part where you start to laugh. Yesterday during the argument, the justices asked one of the individuals that was attorneys for the court, for the states, Sauer, well, are you saying that the Trump administration can basically decide which district court judges they can respect their decisions or not? And he was basically like, yeah. And so then Justice Amy Coney Barrett came back and said, did I understand you correctly that you just told the Justice Kagan that the government wanted to reserve the right to maybe not follow a circuit court judge's decision? And he doubled down on it and said, yeah, it'll be a case-by-case decision. This is unfounded. I've never heard an argument like that made to a district court judge in Mecklenburg County, let alone to the highest court in our country, that will decide if we're going to follow a court's decision or not. We're in newfound territory, uncharted waters, and this is something that is, I would clearly say, is unprecedented. So I think the court is confused at the minimum, but we'll figure this out hopefully very soon and right the ship.
Yeah, and we've become very familiar with the word injunction. So again, thank you for always reminding us what exactly that means, Khalif. Thank you.